We've got Leo Lincoln Butty, no walking boys. Harry Carney, Pepe Diagaro, Lennox Hayes, Leo Morrison, Spencer Murphy, Vance Nathaniel, Samuel Nikolowski, Jadena Okafor, Leonardo Perosa, Euros Conrad, Jensen Phil, Saint Real, Zach Stubbs, Joe Bian and Sawyer Wood. That's our under-9s, coached by Jackson Banook, Matt Bailey and Steve Hayes. Sponsored by Benissimo, Onyx Construction, Shine Lawyers, Organic Compressor Village Bits and Levitsky Plumbing. Now to under-10s. We have Lachlan Bone, Pedro Bastos, Marlon Carriage, Finn Coughlin, Liam Dimitriev, Charlie Gassander, Zen Hayashi, Lewis Hutchings, Duke Hudson, Emran Kotovich, Danny Kennedy, Liam Kostovsky, Marley Mitchell, Josh Nesbitt, Maxi Frenzowski, Taj Roberts, Albie Ryan, Thomas Talbot, Mika Talevsky, George Ventos and Bodie Wilson. They're coached by Godfrey Franco, Phil Frenzowski and Bobby Talevsky. Sponsored by Uncle Earls, High Range Solutions and Lodge Environment. Now under 11s, Tommy Perotti, Archie Baker, Riley Baker, Ferdinand Bernardini, Kaylee Gondello, Oliver Connor, Maxie Eastwood, Archer Hamilton, Lachlan Jory, Justin Curry, Kalen Lee, Harry Lester, Hudson Matthews, Jacob Midgley, Henry Oganowski, Andre Rusic, Nixon Smiley, Carter Thompson, Cole Tweedle, Joseph Umes and Lawrence Whitting. They're coached by Michael Panozzo, Rentnoff Ma and Roscoe Emerton. Sponsored by Kia Gateway, Onyx Construction and Smart Products. Our under 12s, Jacob Bone, James Humphrey, Marley Abraham, Louis Austin, Luca Batur, Isaac B, Pete Brilski, Charlie Compton, Rory Dixon, Noah Zeborowski, Dixon Everingham, Spencer Gardner, Leighton Johansson, Vic Krastevsky, Leonardo Medina, Lucas Mahalov, Sebastian Noloski, Freddie Nesbitt, Leo Topachevsky and Cooper Williams. They are coached by Tony Zeborowski, Rob Mahalov and Steve Tribanovsky. Sponsored by DXC Medical, A&E Electrical, A&S. Their backup shirt sponsor is L10s, the best 10s machines in the business, and Kia Motors. Goalkeeper coach Dave Curley. Now to our youth boys. Under 13s, Max Capetta, Tyler Bailey, Lucas Bowley, Owen Bridge, Mikhail Kamara, Lucas Davis, Ed Hingley, Giles, Tamo Carl, Hi McClatchy, Austin McDade, Aston Mitchell, Geordie Oliver, Curtis Rayner, Bailey Winner and Sebastian Harlock, coached by Todd Parker and Garth Bailey, sponsored by Daily Co Accountants and WN Crane. Now under 14s, Nate DiCello, Lowie Avanash, Emre Bezamovsky, Ethan Dow, Dietrich Ellerman, Dion Elmazi, Leo Fletcher, Leon Gavrilowski, Tristan Harding, Henry Keane, Rudy Keane, Rafferty Lee, Simon Marola, Jonas Pemberton, Lynn Saville, Archie Schaefer, and Hamish Johnson, coached by Brandon Groom and John Lee, sponsored by Gallagher Insurance, Green Arrow and Smart Projects. Our under 15s, Ridian Jones, Aidan Cruikshank, Marcus Umbrell, Zachadin Keane, Roy Lucas, Braden Luxford, Evan Mayola, Ethan Matthew, Cooper Niddle, Oliver Ng, Edward Page, Lachlan Pegler, Alex Popovsky, Jed Rasevsky, Orville Saka, Daniel Zukic and Austin Jackson, coached by Peter Zambelis, Alex Chopsky and Steve Chopsky, sponsored by Kia Gateway and Fabulex Switch. Our under 16s, Lucas Mikowski, Stefan Agmostopoulos, Lewis Andrews, Alexander Bradshaw Watt, Taj Klett, Leon Omazi, Lucas Paella, Darius Amod, Spencer Jeffrey, Jordan Brenzowski, Aidan Rayner, Xavier Severos, Dean Stribanowski, Josh Chinuganotti, coached by Vlado Stribanowski and Gil Brenzov, sponsored by Hanson Lawyers and TL Electrical. Under 18s, Andrzej Zaborowski, Finley Cole, Christian Nikolowski, Jack Johansson, Connor Matthew, Jordan Sirajowski, Aaron Kearney, AJ Duffin, Pavlov, Khalid Hushami, Haydar Raj, Richard Nakuri, Hamish Grant, James Benedetti, Leo Alia-Lewis, Sebastian Zorban, coached by Rob Noloski and Tony Zabrowski, sponsored by A&E Electrical, King Street Dental and A&S. Shout out to our goalkeeper coach Jason Lima and our VO live sponsor L10 and front of shirt training sponsor here Gateway. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of the Wollongong Rules is here in front of you. Come and grab yourself a gelato once you finish as well, kids. Go get grab mum and dad to come and buy yourself one.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome down here to Macedonia Park for this New South Wales NPL fixture between your Wollongong Wolves and St George FC. Before kick-off today, we ask everyone here in observance to please join us in observing a minute's silence as we remember Chloe McMullen and Heber Abraham. Both Chloe and Heber were much-loved members of the wider football community, and their passing has deeply affected many across our region. On behalf of the Wollongong Wolves, we extend our heartfelt condolences to their families, friends, teammates, and all of those impacted during this incredibly difficult time. Thank you as we come together as a football community to reflect, remember and pay our respects. Please, ladies and gentlemen, a minute's silence for Chloe McMullen and Heber Abraham. Ladies and gentlemen, now introducing the starting lineups for today's fixture. First of all, with St George FC. Number 1, Nicholas Soros. Number 4, Jaden Cito. Number 5, Nicholas Calagero. Number 6, Patrick O'Shea. Number 7, Justin Poon. Number 8, Evangelo Suris. Number 9, Jake True. Number 11, Anthony Maravito.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Macedonia Park. It's round 16 of the National Premier League's Men's New South Wales as Wollongong Wolves take on St George. Well, how fortunes have changed for these teams since the visitors' resounding victory in the opening round, with the Wolves now occupying the top places while the Saints will look to halt their subsequent freefall down the table today. My name is Tim Gibson. Let's have a look at the teams. And starting with the Wolves, Daniel Solski is in goal. 4, Dylan Ryan. 5, Banri Kanaizumi. Number 8 is Sebastian Duarte. 10, Flynn Madden. 11, Sebastian Hernandez. 15 is Dax Kelly. 16, Lucas Trajsevski. 17, Marcus Beattie. 24, Lachlan Scott. And number 20 is Vecchio. Will be the Wolves to kick this one off in their red. And St George playing in the navy blue. We get underway with our referee, Hayden Langholtz. We're about halfway through this season now, but the points will only become more important as a ball in behind for Jake True, who's flagged offside. Looking to the St George team now, and in goal is Nicholas Soros. 4, Jaden Cito. 5, Nicholas Calagoro. 6 is Patrick O'Shea. 7, Justin Poon. 8, Evangelo Suris. Number 9 is Jake True. 11, Anthony Marabito. 15, Mark Rodich. 16, Caden Wright. And number 20 is Kota Toyuka. As I mentioned, the opening round between these teams, it's for the Wolves, but the opening round was a confident victory from St George. There was a huge gap, particularly in the first half. The pace of play between both teams. 3-0 result. As Poon has an opportunity to cross it in. Solski collects. Here comes Beatty through midfield. But since then, it has been a tale of two different stories, really. The Wolves are continuing their beaten run coming into this game. 11 games without defeat now for the Wolves, which has seen them into the top 4 places. Mashivecchio trying to skip his way through. That's a lovely touch. Mashivecchio out of the Saints back line. There'll be some evidence on the pitch from the 20s game that it is being dug up a little bit. The rain over the last 24 hours. True, who nods it on, but Duarte works hard to get in. Beatty can't take it away, and St George have the opportunity to break forwards. Direct ball over the top for Poon. Into the box, shifts it inside, but sends it over the top. A couple of early chances for the winger. It's been a lively start. Mentioned with St George, they've been on the other end of what's been a rather dismal run of form. They won 5 of their first 6 games. An unbeaten run where they didn't even concede a goal, but they've now lost 9 matches in a row, conceded 24 goals. That ball's clipped forwards from Ryan towards Hernandez. Has control of that, and we'll send it back to Solski. Into the box now, a slip, and maybe enough for Dylan Ryan to take it away. We can expect a few more slips like that. As I mentioned, the rain past day has seen a lot of local games called off today, but Wolves will go ahead with the fixture today. True. Just to play that ball in behind for Poon, it's clearly a strategy that they're keen to work on. And now they have a bit of an overload on the left side. Here's Poon, pushes it wide for Cito. Looking for Suris. Trajsevski commits the foul, and the visitors can get a ball into the box. Do with a fast start here, St George. Coming into the round, they're just a couple of points above the relegation playoff place, which, considering the run they were on, saw this ball clipped in. Ryan clears it away. Mashivecchio will chase after it and gets there first. Under pressure though, and he's fouled. Beatty looking to pick a pass forwards and finds Dylan Ryan. Here's Ken Izumi. Here's Madden. Wants to play a direct ball forwards. They're throwing. Will look to come down the left side now. Here's Duarte. Mashivecchio. Nice ball inside for Beatty. That's over the top for Scott. Flicked round for Duarte, who goes into the box. Back a little short for Hernandez. Caden Wright can come away with it now. There's Beatty for company, who works hard. And the phone will go against the Wolves on that occasion. Duarte plays a ball in behind for Hernandez, who's got plenty of pace. That one will ricochet back off him for the goal kick. Good defending from Mark Rodic. We'll have a tough assignment up against Hernandez and Scott. Fights to keep that in, but it's away from the Wollongong striker. Izumi wins in. But it's back with St George. They again try to drive it forwards. Happy to play the direct ball. Dax Kelly, who's getting an extended run in the team with a combination of injuries and unavailabilities. A useful asset for the Wolves to have back there, given the amount of reshuffling that they've had to do this season. Kelly missed a good portion of the first half of the year with injury, but has played a bit more in the last few weeks. Started the last two games for first grade after being reintroduced in the under-20s and hasn't conceded a goal while playing in defence since his return. Here's Madden. Here's Ken Izumi. St George showing no interest in pressing either. Happy to hold their shape and require the Wolves to break them down. There's a nice flick through, but goalkeeping from Souris. Souris, who's in the team after Janjetovic, another former Wollongong Wolves player, was occupying the goalkeeper spot now on the bench this week. He played the Wolves back in 2024 with David Carney in charge, but there's a ball in behind and it was could be an interesting moment. It'll be a yellow card the way of Dylan Ryan and the free kick on the edge of the box. It could have been worse for the Wolves given the proximity to goal and the lack of covering defenders, but Caden Wright didn't have the ball under control. There's also an opportunity for Solsky to come and grab it, but nonetheless it's an excellent chance from the free kick, with the Saints having a few solid options. It is Poon and Wright who are interested in it. Into the wall, and Wright can try to make something of it. Still in the box, another slip, but Vito holds onto it. Right, nice pass. Comes back on the outside. Cut back cleared by Madden. Duarte hooks that one up towards Hernandez. Flicks on, but only finds a St George defender. Mascivecchio touch through. Scott tries to flick it on for Mascivecchio. Yuka plays it forwards, and Wright can find True. True into the box, goes around Ryan. Zumi clears it. True, who had a couple of years at the Wolves back in 2023 and 2024. Following his recovery from a series of tough knee injuries, multiple surgeries, but he's been back on the field and hasn't really had an extended absence since. Here's Trajcevski, another player in this Wollongong team who's been getting an extended run and has been producing the results as well. Hernandez skips around one challenge and can go towards the byline. Gets the cross in, cleared away. Adam with a shot, and BT another one. Neither with any power. Here's a chance though. Carried away. Trajcevski's effort. Duarte gets the ball in for Hernandez, but header goes wide. A good passage of play though for the home side. Their best so far, arguably. Wins that contest. Mascivecchio able to skip through to find Dax Kelly. Trajcevski back with BT, who has a bit of room. BT forced to retreat. There's Ken Izumi. Izumi goes long towards Hernandez. Scott. Scott still going, under pressure from several players there, and eventually loses out. Beattie, though, can come forwards. Nice touch. Taking their time and looking to maintain possession. Dylan Ryan's ball. Adams head up, and Shivecchio finds Duarte. And a yellow card for Duarte. Was relatively on the point of contact. Couple of bookings now for the Wollongong backline, both for Duarte and Dylan Ryan, so that left side will have to be careful now. Luca comes down the line right, can't keep it in. Madden switches it towards Max Kelly. Will hold up a little bit more in these soggy conditions on the pitch. Ryan needs to pump it in towards Scott, but good defending again. Here comes True. Nice exchange with Wright. Poon goes down off the ball, but through Sito. Looking for an opportunity down the left. Going from Sito, but Solsky holds on to it. Nashivecchio forwards for Scott. Wollongong to create something of their own. Good feet from Scott, and he can carry on under pressure, but the line indicates that the ball was already out of play. Here's Rodich. Nice pass into midfield. Opportunity now for St George to spread play. Head up. Here's Sito. Comes out towards right. Looks for the angle to create something. Nashivecchio goes on quickly towards Hernandez, but as always, from a long way off there, Hernandez, to try and meet the ball. Calagaru had it covered. That'll be a goal kick. Ryan goes for the cross in towards Scott. Misclear will only find Beatty. Takes on a shot of his own, but that clears the crossbar by some distance. The Wolves also having to do without Tate Russell. Who's missed out on the last couple of their squads. Joined the Wolves from the league side, Western United. And it was a huge pick-up for the Wolves, and really started to find his feet and show some of that A-League form for the side. And an important part of this unbeaten run they continue to be on. Trying to pick a pass forwards, but it's given away, and St George will try to break forwards. True. Plays it on neatly, gets it back. To shoot. They're trying to play out Wollongong, but they get that one wrong, and St George can come back again. Toyuka. Rodic. Vecchio intercepts it, but they'll stay with the Wolves half, but now Wollongong have possession of it. George parted ways with coach Raphael Murray earlier this month. Director Ryan Brown has stepped into the role as they look to recover their form and get themselves out of the relegation fight they found themselves in. Against Rodic. There was a clear sound there of boot contact. And now Wollongong have the opportunity to get the ball into the box. Delivery. Get it away. Still there for the Wolves. Comes out to Hernandez. Shot blocked, and True launches it away from the danger area. nearly picked out Madden, but good claim from the Saints goalkeeper. Nice touch from Ryan to bring that down. Duarte into the channel for Scott. Rich fouls again. Free kick for the Wollongong Wolves in a similar position to the last one. Get the delivery on point. Kawazumi, Scott. Ryan, some good targets in there. And his delivery floated over. It's come back into the area, bouncing off the crossbar, but a free kick goes the way of the away side. The header. Over on the Wollongong bench, Luke Bookshare, who came back into the role this year as the coach and coached them through the Australian Championship. It's been announced as part of SBS's World Cup coverage team. Here's Scott from Masciavecchio. Gets a shot off, and that is superb from Alex Masciavecchio. A peach of a goal. And it's a superb curling effort. And that is what Wollongong needed to break this game open. Given the way this game was going, St George were more than happy to stay in their shape and not allow Wollongong any touches in the box, but on the half-hour mark, Masciavecchio, just outside the area, has made a really important difference for the hosts. He's scored a couple of outstanding goals this year, the winger. Third of the season. Missed the clash against St George in round one, but he's back in the team to face them this time around, and scored a goal. There's a ball looped forwards for Duarte. Ball goes out of play. As I was saying just before the goal, Wilkshire, this is part of SBS's to go over to the World Cup, which will mean we'll have to find a solution. Duarte's ball in, comes through to Dax Kelly. Shot lacked the power to trouble the goalkeeper, but another good chance. Really trying to push the advantage further now. Going behind for True. Flag won't go up and he can go into the box now. Ken Izumi deals with it well. And it'll be a throw-in, I think. Can St George make a quick response? And the flag's gone up here for the offside. Solski will choose to play a direct kick forwards. Scott, good header. Hernandez wide for Duarte. It's a low cross. In the end, it'll be a free kick to the Wolves on the halfway line, following a collision with True and Ken Izumi. In for Scott. Flicked on for Beatty. Tough one to control. Here comes St George. Rice almost picks out True. Madden in with a challenge for Wright. Ball in behind for True. That goes up against the striker. Look tight with Dylan Ryan. The deepest of the Wolves' back line. Roughly 10 regular minutes to play of this first half. Wollongong with the narrow advantage. Polar of a goal from Mashivecchio. Ryan for Madden. Madden finds Kelly. A corner ball for the Wolves. Across to take it. It's Duarte. Yeah, another corner. This time from the other side. Second goal now would give the Wolves a more commanding advantage, and given the nature of this game, it could prove decisive in the result. Madden 1-2 with Hernandez. Back to Hernandez. Go in first time. Not a bad cross. Headed away by True. Mashivecchio switches wide for Dax Kelly. Back to Trajsevski. Here's Beatty. Kelly down the line for Beatty. Scott back for Beattie. Here's Scott. Lovely turn from Scott. Still going, Lachlan Scott. Pokes it through. Slapped away. Nice intricate play from the Wolves. St George moved the ball onto the left side. Dax Kelly, well-timed challenge and wins the throw-in as well. Cross comes in. Solsky collects. Here comes St George the other way. Ball clipped forwards for True, but Duarte deals with it, and Mashivecchio can play it on Madden. Nice flick towards Scott. Scott tries to place it into Beattie's path. O'Shea goes back to Soros. He goes direct. Hernandez coming the other way. Good opportunity for the winger to run straight at the St George defence. They scramble well. Toyuka towards True. Ryan wins the head up. Duarte. Here's O'Shea. Finds Kalaguru. Poon. Back to the centre back. True finds O'Shea. Well worked this from St George. Cito. Kelly equal to the task. Goes down the line for Hernandez. Scott making an early run, but Hernandez will choose to go on his own for now. Plays it to Scott. Trajsevski with a shot. Saved by Soros, who palmed the ball back into the danger area, but no Wollongong player was there to meet it. Fortunately for the away side. Wollongong moving it forwards once more. Hernandez into the channel. First time ball. Good communication. St George can take it away from the back with Toyuka. Here's O'Shea. Wide for Cito. Right. Now back with O'Shea. Something for True to chase and had to be dealt with. It'll be a corner. Has certainly made a nuisance of himself up front. Jake True. Well, a little over 3 minutes of regular first half time left as this corner comes in. Deep ball towards Solsky. This time he grabs it very confidently and can get the Wolves moving through Lachlan Scott. Duarte for Beatty. Madden finds Hernandez. Here's Madden. Duarte. Duarte cross in, but Soros claims that comfortably. True wins the foul. Rodic. In for Wright, back to Rodic. O'Shea. Fired into Morabito. Here's Jake True with an opportunity to shoot. Blocked by Ryan. Mashivecchio gets around Toyuka. Madden plays it forwards towards Kelly, but Sito is alert to it and plays it out for the throw-in. Right. Towards True, but Dylan Ryan was aware of it. Free kick on Dax Kelly. Just the 1 minute of time added on. Still just enough time for either of these sides to find a goal which would change the complexion of this game. Still only 1-0 to the Wolves. That Mashivecchio strike proving the difference at this stage. And that's half-time here at Macedonia Park. Wollongong with a 1-goal lead over St George. We'll be back in a little over 10 minutes' time for the second half. Welcome back for the second half here at Macedonia Park. Wollongong leading 1-0 against St George. It was Alex Mashavecchio's wonder strike on the half-hour mark that's the difference at the moment. Here's Scott for the Wolves. Ball in behind for Trajcevski. Good challenge from O'Shea. Early set piece for the Wolves, less than a minute in. And what was a tough second, or rather first half. St George didn't give the Wolves much at all. Here's Duarte's ball in toward Dylan Ryan. Good claim from Soros. Wait to see how St George approached this half. They were compact in the first half, but see how that changes in the second half as they chase a 1-goal deficit at the moment. O'Shea. Pelaguru goes direct. Duarte cuts it out. Mashavecchio forwards for Madden. Plays it to Hernandez. Tried to pick out Scott. Madden gets it back. Cut out well by Wright. One change for St George at halftime with Kota Toyuka coming off and Katsuyoshi Kimishima coming on, which has seen Wright drop into a right back position to accommodate Kimishima further up the pitch. Foul from Kanaizumi on True, and it'll be a yellow card for the defender, so that's 3 out of the 4 Wollongong defenders booked just 3 minutes into the second half. Is Souris to find True. First touch for Kimishima. C2 finds Kimishima, tries to go around Dax Kelly. Good footwork, but no free kick given. Throw in taken quickly. Duarte comes forwards, tries to get a ball in, but it'll be a goal kick. Soros with this goal kick, launched towards the right side of the pitch. Ryan shanks his clearance a little bit, and it'll be a throw-in. Looks like there has been another change for St George with Rafael Costa coming on. in place of Anthony Morabito. So an immediate response in terms of personnel changes at the start of this second half as St George looked to get back into the game. Did have a couple of good moments. Jake True has been a nuisance up front, and with 3 out of the 4 of the Wolves backline on yellow cards, there's opportunity to get at them and force them to commit challenges they perhaps don't want to, given the context. Set piece now, though, for the visitors. Headed away by Ryan. Still a chance, though. Here's Poon, driven in and poked wide. From Rafael Costa. Solski being told to hurry up. Kanazumi down the line for Trajcevski. Here's True. That ball will float over the top. Duarte in a foot race that he loses to Wright. Wright still with the ball. Duarte recovers though. Trajcevski chases after this one. Kalagoru's challenge. He's given as a foul. Beatty. Here's Kelly. It's been a spirited start to the second half from St George. Here's Madden with a chance to shoot. It's a miss hit, but it's still there for him. Madden. Madden fouled on the edge of the box. And it'll be a yellow card. The way of, I think, O'Shea. Good position this for Wollongong to get a direct strike at goal. St George had one in a very similar position in the first half that went into the wall. A little bit closer in distance. This one gives the Wolves a bit more room to try and get it up and over the wall, but still under the crossbar. Few takers for this one, Madden, Ryan, and also Beatty standing over it. will be Dylan Ryan into the wall as well. Madden with a shot that's dragged well wide of the goal. Kimishima tries to find Poon, who does keep it in. Jake True with the touch. Cleared away by Ryan. Sito back for Rodic. Cleared away by Kanaizumi, but Scott will try to hold on to it under pressure and does so. Beatty. Here's Trajcevski. Good space this for Wollongong. Trajcevski still going. Wide for Hernandez. Here he is, Sebastian Hernandez. And it's 2. Swift counter-attacking football from the Wolves. And it's come at a great time as well. Approaching the hour mark. It all started with Lachlan Scott. And then ball found its way out to Trajcevski, who clipped a ball definitely just over the head of the St. George defender, where Hernandez was able to take a touch and had plenty of time to blast it into the goal. And that's his first goal since round 8. Hernandez, third of the season. He did make the NPL Men's New South Wales Team of the Week last weekend and might be in for a shout for it again this week as he flies through Kimishima. And now St. George have the chance to respond. Edge of the box, Kimishima's ball cleared away. On Duarte. Right. Ball forwards. Trajcevski, good defending. Bit of wrestling, and Trajcevski tried to carry on, but the free kick will be brought back. Chivecchio moves it inside and finds a good run from Madden. Madden towards Hernandez. Side-footed in for Scott. Of course, the Wolves are missing Kazuya Yamamura, who will be out for at least another month, which is a big loss in that midfield. But they're finding ways of winning as Hernandez commits another foul. This time on Situ. Suris receives the ball and looks forwards. Nice ball inside, and BT deemed not to have clipped the attacker. And now they can come the other way, Wollongong. Much more confident position this for Wollongong, a 2-goal buffer. But already you can see St George are happy now to commit to a more intense press. That ball's switched wide for Mashivecchio, who did look to be in an offside position. But already the urgency from St George has stepped up a notch. Sito back to Rodic. Scott. Nice work from Scott. Lovely spin as well, and can carry on. Is fouled by O'Shea with a cynical challenge, and that will be a yellow card. Obviously, he wasn't the recipient then of the yellow card earlier in the second half, which saw that free kick awarded on the edge of the box. Madden looped in towards Kanaizumi. Kimishima can escape down the left. BT back for the Wolves, but is eventually forced back. Ball in from Sito towards True was a tough one for him to get under control as it flew past him. Kelly for Hernandez, inside for Beatty. Good pressing from St George, and they have the ball back through Poon. Here's O'Shea. In for True. Can't hold it up though. But gets the ball back nonetheless and turns quickly. Dax Kelly in firmly. Interception from Kelly. Hernandez now finds Scott. Rafael Costa finds Poon down the right side. Looks to take on Duarte. Gets a ball in, but Dylan Ryan heads it away, and it'll be a throw-in right in the corner. Rice now. Kalaguru tries a clever ball, but it'll bounce behind for the goal kick. Wollongong again taking their time on these Goal kicks. Duarte for Masciavecchio. Tries to go on his own and is grabbed back by Wright, even though it looked like the ball was going to go behind for a throw-in. Kelly for Hernandez. Kanaizumi's turn to try and pick something out further up the pitch, but showing their patience as Ryan plays a direct ball up for Duarte. Masciavecchio, good exchange, and Duarte has it back. Still going Duarte. Madden turns and finds Hernandez. Hernandez with a shot that's eventually caught by Soros. That ball's a touch loose, but Rodic slides in to ensure it finds its intended target. Kimishima. And Facito drops behind the goal line. Rafael Costa will go to press. Dylan Ryan, that ball's not found a Wolves player, and they'll be under pressure from a throw-in. Suris and Wright involved there, and that'll be a free kick in a good position. They've had a few of these in the second half. St George, can they make this one count and halve the deficit heading into the final quarter of this game? Poon's delivery. Costa heads it back across. Kanaiizumi is able to keep it going, and, well, it almost fell in the box. Kimishima finds Wright, and they go all the way back to George. That kick misses the mark. And we will see a substitution for St George. Will be Jake True coming off. In place of Tanakan Rugsat. So like for like up front, True, who got through plenty of running and did his best to make an impact in what It was an isolated job up top for the visitors. St George with a bit more possession now. Wide for Sito and further wide to pick out Kimishima down the line. Neat exchange. Picked up by the new substitute striker, but the effort blocked and chance for Poon. It was a good opportunity given the position he was in, but unable to make meaningful contact with it. Rice inside for Souris. Kimishima has become increasingly involved in the second half as St George have gotten a bit more of the ball. One comes to nothing in the end. And now we will see a change for the Wolves. It's going to be Sebastian Hernandez coming off. And coming on will be Felipe Diagostini. So, scorer of the second goal today, Hernandez, which has given the Wolves a commanding lead in this game, and will now be replaced by Diagostini. Hernandez enjoying a much more consistent season this year, given he picked up that really early injury last year, which ruled him out for much of the season, but has been fit this year, and his minutes have been managed effectively as well, which has ensured he stays fit for the Wolves, and he is such an asset, as he's demonstrated today. Here's Diagostini now, wide for Masciavecchio. Duarte on the overlap. Still going Duarte. Pinches it back, and Masciavecchio takes it into the corner. Trajcevski. Duarte almost finds Diagostini. BT for Kanaizumi. Diagostini finds Madden. And it'll be another yellow card for the Wolves. Well, there's been a number of those. Given Hernandez was committing them rather frequently before he came off. Madden's picked up one there. Perhaps cheaply. Has been an expensive afternoon for the Wolves in terms of those yellow cards. Is Suris. Wide for Kimishima. Plenty of pressure, and St George find themselves outnumbered. Madden forwards quickly for Scott, tried to find D'Agostini. As it starts to get a little darker here at Macedonia Park. As it will now for a number of these afternoon kickoffs. In fact, the next home game for the Wolves will be in 3 rounds' time against Apia Leichhardt. They go away to NSW next Saturday, and then the following Sunday away to Marconi before that clash at home to Apia. So 3 tricky games coming up for them. Marconi and Apia are 2 of the 3 teams that they've lost to this year, with St George being the other side, as mentioned on the opening round. And it will also give them an opportunity to make up some points on those sides ahead of them directly, with Apia and Marconi, as well as United 58. All ahead of them at the moment, but they've still got a job to do here, and the urgency from St George is noticeably increased. That's a free kick for Wollongong, though. And Duarte will need some treatment. He stayed down after that initial challenge, as we see a couple of substitutions for the Wolves. Will be Masciavecchio coming off, as well as Madden, with Liam Ball coming on. The other player coming on for the Wolves is Noah Matthey. Changes in midfield and in attack as well. Well, that is both goal scorers off the pitch now for the Wolves. Masciavecchio's goal, of spectacular one, a curling effort from the edge of the box that got the scoring started.
Substitution there for your Wolves was number 10, Liam Madden, making way for number 14, Noah Matthey.
Scott for ball. D'Agostini. Duarte's wide. Ball in. Ball almost got his head to it. But St George can come the other way now. Through Costa. Ten regular minutes to play in this one. Still enough time for St George to mount a comeback. Admittedly, there have been limited signs of that. But it was only a few weeks ago at the start of this month that the Wolves coughed up a 2-goal lead against Rockdale at this venue, including a stoppage time equaliser against, or rather for Rockdale Illingdon. So there is potential, even at this late stage. Surus down for the Saints. Matthew finds Scott. Scott still going. Almost picks out D'Agostini and Beattie as well, who are both making that run. The pass a little off though. Rodic. Cito. Ball cuts it out. Duarte down the line, or rather more centrally, and Noah Matthew can run forwards and picks out Trajcevski. Can they finish it off? Great touch from Cito. Kimishima. The ball goes out of play. Ball goes out of play, so St George will get the throw in. Will be another substitution. For both teams, well, looks like St George are going to make a couple of changes. The Wolves just won. It's going to be Lachlan Scott coming off.
Substitution for your Wollongong Wolves coming off is your captain, number 24, Lachlan Scott.
And coming on is Taj Demito.
And coming on for your Wolves, number 44, Taj Demito.
There'll be a couple of changes for St George at the next stoppage to try and give them a final boost to get back into the contest. Here they come down the right. Ball. Good interception. D'Agostini. Rodic looks to take on Ball, but Ball held on to it right. Rodic finds right again. Demito, good challenge. We will see those changes now for St George. It's going to be Suris coming off, as is Poon. And coming on is going to be Jaden Dorevsky. And also Ali Mazaffa. Ball straight back, Mathy. Wide for Kimishima. Costa. Kanaizumi gets a foot in, as does Kelly. Trajcevski now. Kanaizumi finds ball. Switched out for D'Agostini. Ball still with it. D'Agostini is pushed off the ball by Wright. That'll be a free kick. And it will result in a yellow card the way of Wright as we head into the final 3 minutes of regular time in this game. Back underway. D'Agostini to Wate for Mathy. D'Agostini tries to wriggle his way through. Right, fouled by Demito. Sito for Kimishima. O'Shea. Kelly down the line. It will bounce out for the throw-in. But Wollongong can push St George back up the field. Still holding the 2-goal lead with not too long to play. We'll find out how much added time there is in roughly 90 seconds. Have been a couple of stoppages, but unclear how long we'll see. Ball. Trajcevski. Kimishima. Ball never went out of play, and Wollongong can resume out from the back. BT ball forwards, but doesn't find a target. Kanaizumi, nice pass for D'Agostini. Excellent challenge from Wright. Ball back for Ryan. Demito. Solski eventually grabs it. 5 additional minutes at the end of this game. Still some time for Wollongong to navigate if they are to come out with 3 points. Kimishima. Ball played forwards. Can St. George find something? It's a cracking effort. Cannons back off the crossbar. From Rugsat, but Kimishima has it back now. Kimishima goes down in the box, and it's going to be a yellow card for the winger. Three minutes of the game left. Demito has stayed down in some discomfort. Demito still down. He's back on his feet and walking, so might be able to continue. Still have a change spare the Wolves, but with such little time. Kimishima. Sito, ball in. Kelly will try to prevent that going behind for the corner and is successful in doing so. Just about at the end of the allotted time, but that Demito injury will see a little bit more added on. Ball goes all the way through. Luckily for the Wolves, no one on the end of it. Solski kicks it long. Come back to Dylan Ryan, who kicks it forwards again. Demito. Giagostini. Nice work from Giagostini, but a firm challenge from Rodic. And will be Demito down again. Looks like we'll just have to take him off for what remains with only a few seconds left. They'll play with 10, the Wolves. Kimishima. Rodic fires the ball in, but option goes wide again. D'Agostini, good challenge. Wrights ball in. Still there for St. George. That shot goes well wide, and it's full time. Wollongong with a 2-0 win against St. George. My name is Tim Gibson. Thank you for tuning in.